department gets recruits in their door, they have some trouble sticking it out.
Serving is something I've always wanted to do.
Excited? Yes, sir. These cadets are ready for the task ahead. Policing the city of Austin.
You have to have
report focused on deficiencies in the police department's recruiting and hiring. The audit results: police had a target of hiring 200 in both years. They took in more than 1,300 applications in 2017, including 283 from city residents. But of the 153 hires, only 29 live in Baltimore. In 2016, more than 1,700 people applied, including 214 city residents. 99 were hired.
Dallas police response to less critical calls is far slower than a few years ago when 700 more officers were on the force. It's now just above 3,000.
That includes some of the academy classes that won't actually be on the streets for.
Learned a lot. Today I found myself thanking God that I was a police officer.
After 28 years with the department, Sharon Franklin is now retired from IMPD.
The most rewarding part was meeting people in the community that cared about their neighborhood. The most challenging is you want to help and you want to have an answer for everything. As police officers, we condition ourselves to have a solution for every problem.
And she's not alone in her retirement. IMPD is considered an older department and has suffered a large number of retirements, and now, like many police departments across the state, they're in need of a new generation of officers.
I'm the first person in my family to become a law enforcement officer.
Filling Franklin's shoes is Officer Simone Willis. Willis got her exposure to serving and policing during a program in 5th grade.
Just to see the positivity of policing at such a young age kind of propelled me to want to become a police officer.
IMPD is budgeted for just over 1,700 police officers. Right now, they're at 1,663 officers, and they're expecting more retirements. So the department is launching a bigger initiative to attract new talent and upping the pay. Under the new pay scale, first-year recruits will make $51,000 per year instead of the current $39,466. And the pay jumps from there. This year, IMPD has the goal of hiring 75 new recruits by June and 75 more in December. Willis says the best part of her day is working in her community.
Days when I come in contact with family members, and to sit there and be able to talk to people and get to learn about the people in the area or in the neighborhood is exciting, it's fun.
I hope it does. I sit on a steering committee that the state has several people from all over the state called the Tennessee Women in Criminal Justice Steering Committee. And that's our focus, is to try and be a resource for young women who want to come into this profession. Because it is such a rewarding profession, and we've now gotten to the point, it takes time. You can't come in and be a chief. There's too much to learn. You have to come up through the ranks. It's not something that can be trained to be a supervisor, a police supervisor, even a sergeant. You've got to start out in the bottom rung and work your way up so you can kind of truly understand what it's all about. So now we've gotten to the point where we've got females coming up through the ranks, and we're able to start taking the reins, and it's exciting.
Time to replenish and retool and reboot.
That was Madison Police Chief Mike Koval when he sat down with us back in October to share his concerns about a possible staffing crisis. At the time, he said too many officers were approaching retirement age and they weren't getting enough applicants to replace them.
Memphis's police department is seeing an uptick in officers, and this is a much different story from the numbers a few years ago when the department was down hundreds. Fox 13's Siobhan Riley is live in downtown Memphis to explain, Siobhan, the reason behind this increase.
Hall is one way to get more officers here with the Memphis Police Department. Also right here, this is another example of the department's efforts to get more officers on the street. This year, that's up 3 compared to this time last year.
I've seen robberies, I've seen murder.
Don Schleifer, who lives in Frazier, says the numbers are disturbing.
We can look at it and stand and just watch it like a movie, or we can put together some tactics and some plans and apply them effectively.
Even in a city facing numerous challenges, the department is working to put more officers on the streets.
We want to hit local and even regional, but we've even taken that step farther and started to hit the bigger cities throughout the U.S.
The department is recruiting people from places like Miami, Seattle, Chicago, and even California. Those efforts seem to be working. Officers on the force, that's up compared to November 2017 and January 2018. Anthony Rudolph with the Memphis Police Department says the goal is to have 2,300 officers by 2020.
A lot has to be said with the times. You know, the city of Memphis pays good salaries. We have a great benefits package that we have to offer, and I think people from other places see that.
That's right, Eric and Molly. It's always been a career pipeline. Start in the military and finish in a place like this. But for the last few years, departments have set their sights on tech workers, even new college grads. Things now have come full circle.
Honestly, we leave no stone unturned.
For police recruiters like Carrie McNally, it's nothing she's seen in her 29 years on the job.
When I came on, I was testing with 1,200 other people for, 10 jobs.
Last year, applications to the Seattle Police Department were down 30%.
It's the worst I've seen it in my career.
Hoping to cast a wider recruiting net, SPD Chief Carmen Best today signed a hiring agreement with the Army.
This is a wonderful way of providing opportunities to those who have served our country.
Historically, police work was a natural fit for veterans. But in Seattle and nearby cities over the last few years, there's been a push to diversify.
We're working really hard, and it's just a challenging environment right now. So we're trying to really appeal to everybody.
Police nationwide are desperate for applicants.
But it's just a way to really look into an option that might be open to you.
While Seattle is trying to gain a recruiting edge, they're not alone. The majority of new recruits at the State Police Academy are former military.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Blue on Blue. LEO Perspectives, episode number 5. Police recruiting and police recruitment. I better stop with the hand gestures. I'm gonna run out of fingers soon. Anyway, I believe that the earlier videos and the article presented at the beginning of this episode are a good indicator of the scope of things taking place in the world of police recruitment. While some may consider the current state of policing and police recruiting to be negative, some might even say catastrophic, I see the positives. All is not lost with anything that is truly worth something. There's always room for improvement. Improving you and your organization's situational positioning and perspective is always a net positive, not a negative. We hone our craft. Steel sharpens steel. Always. Now that we've jumped into the topic of police recruiting and police recruitment, are the two topics synonymous? Maybe not. Let's look at what a recruiter is. The definition of recruiting and recruitment. Okay, now you've seen the rather generic definitions of both recruiting and recruitment. It's the interesting thing. While doing my quick research for a well-rounded definition on the more specific topic at hand, police recruiting and police recruitment, I couldn't find much. I mean, I found the links to police agency websites advertising their needs for future recruits, etc. Some of the departments I saw are doing a really great job in their efforts in recruiting. Of marketing your departments. A hat tip to you. See? I can be gracious. But seriously, back to the topic. On the actual definitions, there's not much out there, folks. And so, I present you with my perspective on recruiting. As you can see from a report that I wrote in 2012, I know that some of you may disagree with me with my position on certain aspects of recruiting. No worries there. Hey, debate is good. And I invite it. Have things really changed much since I wrote my last report on recruiting? The need for quality police applicants and quality police officers has become greater. Our profession continues to improve. That's a good thing. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, stay safe.